So here we have Mac, and this is going to be his go home video. So this video is meant to be utilized when he comes home to continue his training. It is by no means trying to demonstrate him doing everything perfectly, because that's just not possible. He is still a baby, so he is going to have off days. And when he messes up in this video, it's actually really great and will benefit you down the road when you refer back to continue his training and see how to positively plus correctly move forward. So here we're just doing some sits and downs. Mac was very excited. It was breakfast time, so I'm hand feeding him breakfast throughout this part of the session. I personally love the saying that a free meal is a missed opportunity when it comes to training. And that just means that when it is time for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, feeding him by hand not only helps with a bonding experience, but it also helps him to be more motivated and have a more successful training session. So here is a great example of that. He got up this morning, went outside, did his business, ran around, got most of his zoomies out, and then now we are doing a quick sit and down session and then a kennel and weight session. So you'll see that next part in just a moment. But right now I'm just giving him the sit command, and you'll watch my hand gesture goes up as if I'm lifting Mac's nose to the sky. And with a down, I just reference to the floor. Mac was very excited during this because, again, he was hungry, it was breakfast time, and he wanted his food. So he is going back to that lure stage during the session. He is by no means always doing this. There are times I'm able to stand straight up and point to the floor down, but that's just one of his weak points that he'll just have to continue working on when he comes home. For the sake of this video, I'm very glad that he actually wouldn't do a perfect down, because I want you to see that taking that step back to a lure phase is not a bad thing at all. It will set Mac up to be stronger in the long run, rather than sitting there and trying to get him to do something that maybe he's a little confused about in that moment. So going back to those lure phases with any of his commands is never a bad idea, and will help you get right back on track, especially during the transition period of coming to your home. Kennel. For this part of Mac's go home video, we are working on his kennel and weight commands. As you saw there, I toss a treat in, I tell him kennel, I wait till he finishes his treat, and then I give that weight, and I open that door, and then he has to wait for that universal release word of okay before he can come out and get a treat. So as you see, he's very strong with this command, which is awesome. A weight command really helps to instill good manners into your puppy. So Mac has taken very well to this command. Wasn't Rick in there? Wait. Of course, in the mornings, I do just let him out because I want to get him right outside so he can go potty and be successful with not having accidents in the crate. This is not the crate he's actually being crated in at night. He has been being crated in his actual own crate that is going home with him. But for the purpose of this video, it's just a little easier to film with this smaller size crate because I can reach in the back and grab treats if he misses any. So that being said, we'll continue with this, throwing the treat in, waiting till his focus is on me because I don't want him distracted by chewing, giving that wait command. And when I open that door, if Mac goes to barge out or push his way out, I'm going to give him which is a negative marker tone. And I put him right back in the crate if he gets all the way out, or I even just close him back in if he didn't get completely out of the crate. So that keeps it where Mac understands that he cannot just prematurely barge. He has to be patient and wait till he's given the release. Okay. Please do not mind the baby fussing in the background. It's great for Mac's training, though, and that he's able to work through these types of distractions as they are real-life scenarios, and this will for sure better his training down the road. Okay. Here I am just showing you another method to the kennel command. I take a crate safe toy and I toss that in instead of the treat, but the rest is all the same. This is a great method to use before bed so you're not filling up the tank after you take Mac out for his final potty walk of the evening.
part of Mac's go home video, we are going to do his place command. So what it is I'm going to do is I'm going to reference to the bed, get him on there, no treats until the end. We want him to work for those treats. We don't want to just give them to him for free. So I'm going to make him work for it. Mac, please. So I'll point to the bed, but sometimes if Mac doesn't want to immediately get on there, tapping the bed is okay. It makes him excited and want to get on there. So when he hops off like that, you pick him up, you put him right back on, and start over with that place command. You'll notice I use a negative marker sound of whenever he goes to prematurely leave. Sometimes his body language will be leaning over the edge of the bed, and I can just tell he's about to try and break away. So instead I'll say before he even does it. This will set him to relax and like stay there, and he understands that he can't just break away. If he does, he ends up back on there anyway. Okay. Yes, good boy. Yes. Do it again. You'll notice when I give him that release, I use a positive marker word of yes or good, and as soon as he's coming to me, I use that excited tone of voice. We call it a party voice. This way he knows I appreciate and approve of his behavior. Place. Good boy. Turning my back to him also is a change of body language and might entice him to prematurely break away. So that's why you'll see me turn my back to him quite a bit. This for longer periods of time, but for the purpose of this video, I want you to know how to do place, good boy, and what to do if he messes up. So when he breaks away prematurely, scooping him right up and putting him right back on the bed. Place. You'll notice I hold him away from me and I'm not pulling him in and cuddling him. I don't want to accidentally reinforce the fact of him prematurely breaking away. So by not snuggling him and not praising that behavior, he's going to understand he doesn't get the love and affection he wants when he prematurely breaks away. That's why we throw such a party when he does get the release of, okay, yes, good boy. Good job. Good job. Give him a little bit of a jackpot, which just means more than one treat. He dropped one of the treats. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. But since we're still working, I'm not going to rile him up. I'm not going to do overly aggressive or excited praise. Instead, what I want to do is nice, calm, other than my tone of voice during the release. Matt, please. Yes. Come behind a little bit of that rain. It's going to be a distraction from a bit. She didn't even say rain. It's just the moisture sitting on the trees from this morning's rain. Creating distance between him and I. Okay. Yes, good boy. Good job. Good boy. Place. Yes. All right. Good boy. Good boy. He can get physical praise, just no food reward. Like I said, we want that end goal to be that treat. And the reason I pick him up rather than trying to guide him back on or lure him back on is because his attention span, even if he wasn't a puppy, is still not going to register or understand what it is I'm asking of him if too much time passes. So if I'm down at the end of the driveway and he prematurely breaks, the best thing to do is scoop him up and get him back on there. Otherwise, if I'm trying to do a recall, get him back to the bed, if I do a recall to call him back and get him back going to go over his head what I was originally asking of him, therefore not teaching him anything. So to set him up for success, the best thing to do is just do lots of repetitions, and picking him up and getting him on the bed is the most successful way. It's important to mention he does not have to hold a sit or a down or anything. Place is not as structured as sit stay or down stay. Sit stay, down stay, he has to hold those positions in that same exact spot. So they're very structured commands. Whereas places, I want him to be content and happy on that bed all the time, kind of just flies by for you. So instead, usually our puppies would have a long-term treat or crate safe toy. But for the purpose of this, I want him focused on the command itself, as well as to teach you how to work up to that type of time. Place. It's also important to note, if I'm the one who puts Mac in place, I'm also the one who gives him the release word. And this just deters handler confusion, because if I have someone put him in place and then in 20 minutes, because he's gotten very good with it and he's gotten a longer longevity of holding it, I have someone else come up and give him that release, he's going to be very confused on what he's being released from. We want to just set him up for success of having the same person do it. Not every time, just the same person who started the command also has to be the one to finish it. When company comes over, you can put him into place. It's important not to have company come overly excite him. Have them walk right past Mac while he's holding this place. And if he breaks away while company or someone is there, or if you're in the office and you're trying to have him hold it, the worst thing to do is have that company or customer, whatever it may be, praising him, because then they're actually rewarding that he broke away. So instead, what you should do, tell company right off the bat, hey, he's holding in place. I'll let you know when it's appropriate to pet him. Otherwise, you're undoing this. So again, just going to walk over and pick him up. Mac actually has this command really down pat for the most part, but right now he's kind of having an off moment, and that's fine. I actually want him to mess up during this video so that you know how to reinforce as well as properly correct or continue the training at home. So by putting him on there, that's what I mean by correct. It just shows him, hey, I didn't give you that release word yet, so you got to kind of wait. He's got great handler focus. He's definitely ready to come off there. So I'm not going to give him the release just yet. I'm going to break eye contact again. Okay. Yes, good boy. We're going to do one more short one. Mac, place. Yes. Gonna do some distracting things like clean out my driveway from the crazy wind we had last night. He usually would want to be chasing these, but he's doing really great of not, so. Scoop him right up, put him right back on there. The biggest thing is timing, repetition, and not accidentally rewarding a bad behavior or bad habit, or creating a bad habit, I should say, by praising him when he messes up. Instead, be structured. You'll thank yourself in the long run that you did, because then you will see that he has a down pat. Okay, good boy. Good boy. Stay.
For this part of Mac's go home video, he's going to be showing you his sit stays as well as his down stays. So I give him the sit command using the hand gesture as well, and then giving a flat open hand like a stop sign saying stay, and then the universal release word of okay. And when he comes to me, I give him positive marker words as well as a treat and or praise.
Stay.
So here we are setting up to do it again. I give him that sit gesture and then a flat open hand, but as soon as I say stay, he has to follow through. So as you saw here, he broke away prematurely. I picked him up and put him right back in that same spot and in the same position. So as I mentioned before during his place command, there are some similarities as well as many differences. When you are working on the place command, Mac does not have to hold a specific position or in a specific spot other than being on that bed. When it comes to sit stays and down stays, Mac has to hold that sit or down position. Whatever you originally give him, he has to follow through with. So what I mean by that is when Mac prematurely breaks away, you scoop him up, take him back to the same spot, and put him back in the same position by gently pushing his butt down or even just gently laying him down on the ground. As you will see here, it's super easy to correct and follow through, and Mac takes really well to this. As you saw right here, Mac laid down during a sit stay, and even though he stayed in the correct spot, we want him to hold that same position. So I walked over and he did go back up into a sit on his own, which I backed up with a positive marker word, and then he tried to break away prematurely, so I still followed through. The biggest thing is following through and setting Mac up for success, because if you just let him break away or think that's an acceptable behavior to not have to do the command that he's given, he's going to down the road definitely protest a bit more and be less successful with his training.
Stay. Okay.
Something I want to mention about this upcoming part is that Mac knows he's cute, and he definitely plays that cute card or his goofy card because he is a fun puppy. So sometimes when I go to put him back into a down, he tries to go on his back like a belly rub position, and I just stand and wait until he goes into a proper down before creating distance, because we want him to be successful and accurate with his training. But I just wanted to throw out there that this is him just being goofy and me just being patient, waiting for him to get back into the training mode rather than looking for a belly rub or being goofy.
Down.
Mac has been doing exceptionally well with his crate training. He has not been having accidents in the night, even while being upgraded to a bigger crate. He has been doing great with all of his commands and picking up on everything, as he seems to love our training sessions and get excited when I pull out my treat pouch. So I feel as though Mac will be fun to continue working with in your own home, and that you guys should have a breeze with training. That being said, it is always lifelong support, so never hesitate to reach out with any questions that you may have.
Mac, come. Good. Sit. Down. Mac, sit. Good. Down. Mac, sit. Down.